Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, and double honors to the apostles and the others of GREATMILLSTONE, Ba'ashem Kakadash. We got it's three of us here today. It's your Kalba, brother.
Mafba.
My young.
Alright, and we're going to do a lesson. Not sure we're going to call it yet, but it's Yahushai that draws us to the faith, that's drawing Israel to the faith, and you really can't persuade Jake to come to the truth unless the Lord Yahushua opens up the brother's mind or the Israelites' mind to receive the truth. Alright, so we'll start off at Luke 21. It tells you right here in Luke 21 and 10. Now these things did come to pass, but they're going to come to pass again. Alright, it says, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, pestilence, and fearful sights. Great signs shall there be from heaven, but before all these they shall lay hands on you and persecute you, deliver you up to synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. And that's the point I kind of want to make right here, because the testimony is a record. The Lord said that if we want to follow Him, we're going to be in His same stead. So we're going to be persecuted. We're going to be hated, and this is a warning that 2/3 of Israel were not going to understand the truth. Because if they did, then our ancestors wouldn't have persecuted them. Because the main persecution was by our own people, and then they were delivered up to the Roman authorities. Alright, so we go marturion. Breaks down to martus. Alright, this here is a record. That's the point I'm trying to make here. So the Lord left us a record, alright, and left witnesses to declare the things that were going to come. Alright. In a historical sense, a witness. Just right there. Okay.
Quick precept if you want.
Yep, go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse 8.
You're not for it, you're good.
Oh, Slaki. It says, now go write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for a time to come forever and ever.
A time to come forever and ever, because we have prophecy. Because you have a certain time period in which prophecy is going to take place. All right. And the main thing I'm trying to put forth here is that you cannot make Israelites get it. They don't want to get it. You have Israelites that are on a straight way to being destroyed. You know, every now and again you can say a word, but you can pretty much assess whether a brother's going to understand something or not. All right. It could be that in the last minute he could come into the faith, but you ain't supposed to continuously waste your time on brothers that don't want to hear the word. You're just wasting your time for the main part, because most of Israel is going to be destroyed here in Babylon, America. All right. So you put to each his own. You got your own process that you normally do. What I normally mention, see if the brother has any wisdom in him, and if I don't find wisdom, I just remove myself from him. Right. Every brother's going to come in at the right time. And remember, most of Israel is going to be destroyed. Right. So you have another point to make.
That's pretty much it. In the Bible is the record, the testimony, the evidence. It's not made it with any other books. You got these other Jake thinking that the Bible is incomplete, and they want to, look out and delve out in other books and stuff. Not saying that, of course, different things in secular history do, of course, can line up with the scriptures, but our main record is the scriptures. All right.
What scripture you brought out?
Oh, that was Isaiah chapter. I'll get it for you. So I can pardon. Isaiah 30 and 8. Yeah.
No, that's what he just read.
Yes. Yeah. It's telling us exactly what we're supposed to go to. All right. Yeah, we use different other books, to support our cause, but it's the Bible, that we use. All right, mainly. All right, that's where our faith is coming from. All right, kind.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you got Jake. They're not into the scriptures.
Yeah.
All right, if they into them, they think they know more than you. So again, you gotta keep you know, your family and people in the world, you know, at a distance, because they ain't. For the main part, they're not gonna get it. All right, because even touch here that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. All right, so understand that when you go in to teach these people, that the result that you're mainly going to get is going to be lackluster, or it won't permeate through their minds.
Ephesians 2 verse 8. For by grace ye are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High.
Ephesians 2 and 8. Yep. So it's not, you know, like I said last week, weeks before, it's not that we're intelligent. It's because Yahushua drew us to the Word, so we can understand. It says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith." So the Lord chose a certain group within Israel to understand the truth, and we believe we're those men, and that not of your own, and that not of yourselves. It is a gift of the power. So Jake is not going to understand unless the Lord draw him to the information. That spark has to be within that Israelite's mind for him to actually get it. Right? At first, it can be, you know, an interesting topic to talk about, but that can only take you but so far. You have to have that spark that, you know, ignites into a fire, for where you are compelled to learn about what's going to happen to us in the last days. Most Israelites don't care. You got more? Or?
That's it. That was it.
Yeah. This is you got another one?
No, you got
it. This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse. I'll start at verse 20. And I'll start a bit above. At verse 18 it says, "Little children, it is the last time, and as ye have heard that anti-Hamashiach, or Antichrist, but anti-Hamashiach, against the anointed one, shall come, even now are there many anti-Hamashiach, whereby we know that it is the last time. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they have been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us." And, you know, a lot of people fall out. You know, these Jake that come into the knowledge and such, they fall out. The Lord, of course, will give them a little taste, only, of course, to bring forth a judgment upon them and such. All right, but really, they was not of us. You have many are called, but few are chosen. Okay, in which we are striving, of course, to be of that elect, putting on the elect. All right, not to fall from, you know, all the different gifts that the Lord bestowed onto us, which He gave us faith. That's important.
What do you
know? Oh, 1 John 2, and I start at verse 18. I'm at 19 now. But
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yep. And it reads on. It says, "But they went out that they might be made manifest, that they were not all of us. But ye have an unction from the Holy One, and you knew or know all things." All right, we have that higher calling. "I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because you know it, and no lie is of the truth." All right, so this, like I was saying, this ought to be so that's in you already. Okay, within your spirit is you know, which the Lord had put you, the Father Yahweh, all right, put in you, which, you know, He gave us unto Yahushua, which I'm gonna continue to read. It says, "Who is a liar but he that denieth that Yahushua is the Hamashiach? He is an anti-Hamashiach, that denieth the Father and the Son. And whosoever denieth the Son, the same hath not the Father, but he hath acknowledged the Son hath the Father as well." Showing you the way. Okay, our way to the Most High Yahweh is the Son Yahushua, who reconciled our relationship back to the Father through, of course, His sacrifice, which He's done for His elect first, and the rest of Israel. But 2/3 on this side here in America, you know, they hard-headed, and they're going to continue to rebel, not, of course, repent. All right. But this is the point, last point, slide. Let that therefore abide in you, which ye have heard from the beginning, which that be this truth. Okay. If that which ye have heard from the beginning shall remain in you, ye shall continue in the Son and in the Father. And the Lord, he preserves, of course, those that are of the believers. All right. You know, he said he has not lost one. You know, if a sheep went astray, he would go after that one sheep. All right. You know, but yeah, you know, you have to understand that this is all a thing that is of the church, of being of the firstborn, or going into also the Israel the Most High. All right, because not all Israel is of Israel. That's why we can't go to any old Jake and think, oh, he gonna get it. You know, you will say something and then it get to a point that Jake fall off. Because the brother had a little, you know, if you want to give a little brief testimony about the one guy he was talking about. Yeah. Speak about the on that.
You know, Yahushua, when he came, he didn't gather up learned men. He gathered up basic fishermen. And being as though, you know, I grew up in a manner in which I wasn't considered a learned man. When you try to preach the gospel to, you know, to Jake, they look at you as being a low level, not knowing that, you know, the Lord is dealing with you, and it only ends up being to their detriment. Yeah, that was it.
Kind. Yeah, you know, and like the point, you know, you got these Jake in the world, which the brother had mentioned. That Jake, he pretty much is one that's built up in the world, got different accolades, education and such, right?
Yeah.
But then, you know, the brother, he learned about the knowledge, the truth. You know, try to see where he was at, feel him out a little bit.
Yeah.
But the Jake is so puffed up.
Mm-hmm.
He's in, of course, Christianity, you know, plantation Christianity, and he don't even want to hear what the brother got to say. He's more taking a position of offense against even what the brother said, even when the brother didn't even, like you said, he left questions he didn't even answer. You know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, at the end of the day, what ended up happening, hey, you know, he kept staying away from actually the truth. Mm-hmm. And the brother who the truth supposed to be with stays with him, who it's been given to from the beginning. All right? Sorry. Yep.
Y'all got a quick precept. Colossians 3, verse 5. Mortify therefore your members, which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, covetousness, which is adultery. So we had to put off all these things, in essence, becoming a new man. And if you don't put off all these impurities in your spirit, the Lord is not dealing with you. He's not going to increase your knowledge or your wisdom. So you're just going to be stuck. And that's one of the things a friend from the world is wrong with him. He's puffed up. You think because he got a college education, you know, he got a high paying job, and he know that, you know, I don't have a college education. He can't really accept the knowledge that was coming from me. So that's like really the Lord placing a block on his spirit.
Right, yeah. And they'll respect their boss, they'll respect their supervisor, or district manager, or regional manager, but because they put, you know, money in his pocket, they respect the things in this world. Mm-hmm. The word of Scripture said that he used the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. Right. So it's okay if they don't take you seriously. Isaiah 28:9. What you got something off?
This is more Latin with the drawing one. 6 and 44.
Yeah, go ahead. Read.
All right. It's real quick. John chapter 6 and 44. And it reads, it says, no man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. Right, yeah. So it's only possible for the elect to hear the word. It's possible for the elect to hear the word and then convert. But if they're not of the elect, then they can hear the word and they're not going to convert. They're not going to be compelled to come to the faith. Mm-hmm. Right? As the scriptures also say, a heretic after the first and second admonition reject. Mm-hmm. So if we admonish them once, twice, 3, 4 times, then you're not obligated to continue to try to teach that Israelite. Mm-hmm. All right.
Isaiah 28, verse 9.
Yeah, I think 9 first. Yeah.
Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Yeah, so in order to get comprehension on like prophecies, you have to know certain prerequisites, like the Lord's name, Israel, who the promise, what was promised to Israel. All right, once you fully absorb that, then you can go on the prophecies. You can go on slavery, the dominion, the kingdom, and certain details within that. But if you haven't been, if you don't know the Lord's name, you're going to be hindered throughout all your studies. If you don't understand that the promises were made to the Israelites as opposed to all the other nations, it's going to hinder your progress. You're always going to have some sort of flaw in your doctrine if you don't understand certain prerequisites like that. Milk. Continue.
Verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Yeah,
so when you're trying to prove a point, you gather evidence from different books, books in the scriptures, from Isaiah to Jeremiah to Revelation to Genesis, to prove a point or a particular subject. All right. Now it says with stammering lips and another tongue. Stammering means, I believe, means to jest. All right. Another tongue means it's not in Hebrew. All right. So we speak in English and Spanish, and we also speak, Hebrew when it comes to certain words to get a full understanding. All right. So that's the other tongue. So this is prophecy. All right. Prophecy is why we went into slavery, and prophecy is why the Lord drew us from that dead mind back to our right mind, knowing his name and his will, so we can be vessels fit for use.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Yeah. To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest.
Yep.
And this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
Yep. Go ahead.
Verse 13. But the word of the Lord was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken.
All right, so you have Israelites that get the scriptures, and on their table is full of it's mixed with Edomite doctrine, and that Edomite doctrine corrupts the word. All right, it said previously up top, verse before we started reading, was all the tables are full of vomit. Right, and vomit is something that's not to be used. Once you vomit something up, you're not supposed to digest that again. But on their tables, that they certain groups digest that volume. Like you got the groups that say Cornelius is an Edomite, that the chip is something in your mind or something else besides the mark of the beast. It's something else besides the implantable chip. So that's your table being full of vomit, because that if you're saying there's something outside of the mark is something outside of the chip, that's vomit. Saying other people can be saved that are not Israelites, that's part of the vomit. So all the tables are full of vomit. And verse 8. All right, where are we at now? This is yep, go ahead.
Verse 14. Wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
All right, so that's how Jake gets past. When they want something, they lie. All right. Then you got a lot of Jakes that are never stable, because they don't want to be ruled by another man that can actually teach them the right way to go. And then they can be free, because it's a law on Hebrew servants. That's a certain you acquire a Hebrew slave, or an Israelite, all right, for a certain time period, and then you release them. and within that time period in which they are under your pedagogy or your tutelage, they learn skills. Right? But you got a lot of jakes that that are not disciplined enough to learn, a skill or something, a way to make money, so they can get at least a form of stability. You're never really stable, but you have at least a form or a likeness of it. But Jake don't want to be put under the yoke. All right. Well, the Lord said that his yoke is easy to bear and his burden is light. All right. So when you come to the faith, which majority of our people are not willing to do, you got to come under tutors that know more than you. Give me that in Galatians. It says, heir, so as long as a child differs nothing from a servant. What is it, tutors and governors, council, something like that. Yeah, and that's a lot of jakes. They don't want to be ruled by another man that knows more than them. Like a lot of jakes think they know every damn thing. All right.
Yeah, it's Galatians 4:2.
Oh, Galatians 4. You want me to get it?
Yeah, get Galatians 4. You got another precept?
Yeah.
Yeah, read that.
So this is real quick. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2:2. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou unto faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. And that speaks volume. I mean, first of all, you as a witness itself, you would have the testimony. All right, you are literally, you are declaring evidence. All right, in your walk that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is, all right, the Most High and His only begotten Son, all right, and of course, through discerning the spirits, what you're gonna, of course, try the spirit by the spirit. You're gonna, weed out those who, are not deemed worthy. Okay, which that's easily Jake, that they'll cast out certain beliefs because, like I said, they'll deem it as if, hey, well, you said it, but the canon says otherwise. How is that? There's many interpretations of the Bible. I'm like, no, it's only one interpretation, one gospel. All right. So, like I said, that goes to even show you that this truth is precious and it's not for the whole world. All right. In the oikoumenic sense. All right. It says, the same commit unto faithful men. All right. Those that have fidelity, loyalty. All right. Which are going to depend on Yahweh Shem Yahushai, who shall be able to teach all others also, because we, of course, as teachers, we're building up other leaders. All right, you to guide and lead your household and others as well underneath you, by you having, of course, the wisdom though, which Yahweh Shem Yahushai gives you the instruction within this book to give subtlety to the simple. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, when you go teach Israel that are not in the faith, you just give them the word, and you go through it. And then you challenge their current belief system. And ask them where they got that from. Right? And they got it from what our elders call plantation Christianity. So they really don't have anything to stand on. It all goes back to, they believe what the so-called white man said. But they won't put it like that. But you just force them to say it. They believe what the so-called white man said. What the devil said.
Yep.
Right. Read Galatians.
Galatians 4 verse 1. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father.
Right, yeah, so, and now Yahweh Shai was special. He was never taught. He already had the knowledge. The Lord, the Most High himself fed Yahweh Shai the knowledge from when he was a boy. And it says, I believe it's written that he was disputing with the lawyers and doctors, something like that, in the synagogues or in the places where they were. So now, but us, we're mortal men. We might be special men, but we're still mortal men. So we have to still come up under the same, tutelage. All right. And Jake, they're not willing to do that. All right. So if they ain't willing to do that, look, you just tell them a couple times, then you just send them on their way. We had the advantage. All right. Let me get what advantage it is to be a Jew. It's Romans. Whichever way chiefly.
Oh, 3 and 1.
Yeah, 3.
Romans 3 and 1.
Okay.
Yep.
Romans 3 verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there?
The Jews are the Israelites from really whatever tribe. But back then it was talking about the circumcision, the ones that knew the law. So it's talking about Israelites that know the law and the prophecies. All right, from any tribe really, any Israelite that knows the laws and the prophecies. Go ahead.
Come on. What advantage then hath the Jew, or what profit is there of circumcision? Verse 2. Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Most High.
Right. Yeah. So we got the oracles of the Most High. We are circumcised, and we know the laws, the prophecies, so we're qualified to speak. But we know when we speak to these people, the majority of them, they're not even concerned. They're concerned pretty much about their own lives. They're not really concerned about their lives coming to an end because they believe in this. They connected in the matrix. They connected. All right.
Yep. Isaiah 6.
Go back to Galatians 4. And tutors and governors. And then continue from there. Just want to give account to y'all.
Galatians 4 verse 3. Or you want to go to tutors and governors? Galatians.
Well, right past that.
Okay.
You read that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Galatians 4 verse 3. Even so, when we were children, we were in bondage under the elements of the world. But when the fullness of the time was come, the Most High sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons.
Yeah, because before the Yahweh died and was resurrected, we were still under that bondage, under the penalty of the law. And Yahweh took that penalty away from his elect, which are the Israelites. He had the ones in his faith first, and then the other Israelites that didn't convert second. They'll receive their reward in the kingdom, all right, just for being Israelites. All right, that was it there. The last few scriptures, let's close it up.
There's a quick precept. Back up what he said, real quick. This is Romans 8 and 33. Actually, I could start a bit above. Romans 8 and 29. It says, "For whom he did foreknow, he did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Whomever whom he did predestinate, them he also called. And whom he called, them he also justified. And whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we then say these things? If the Most High be for us, who can be against us?"
Right. Yeah. So it's all by predestination. All right. So Jacob went to the 12 tribes. All right. So-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. The only way they're going to come into the faith is if the Lord draws them. It's not a special way you can speak to somebody that they can make them understand. They already have to have it in them for them to understand. All right. It's Yahweh. It's his. It's Yahweh, the Father, gave the blueprint to Yahweh. So it's their will for whatever Israelite to be of the elect. And we got to respect that that's what the Lord's doing. We can't haste above our maker. We can't make somebody of the elect. We can't make ourselves the elect. It's Yahweh. He's about the clay, the potter's hand. Yahweh is the author and finisher of our faith. So if he authored our faith, then we're not the authors of our faith. Yahweh is.
Matthew 18, starting from the top, but the point is in 4. Matthew 18, verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Right. Yeah. So that's when you convert, that means you accept the training, and you forget your past. All right.
Verse 4, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Verse 5, and whosoever shall receive such little child in my name, receiveth me.
Right. And a lot of guys, when they come to the faith, they never forget the old self. They always try to mix their previous life into the faith. And it ain't gonna work. You're gonna eventually get exposed for mixing. The scripture say none shall want her mate. So there's no other form of the knowledge that you can mix with the scriptures. All right, that's a a different religion or something. You can't mix that with the scriptures. All right, that was good.
One more verse.
Yep, good.
Verse 6. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea.
Yeah, that's why you're gonna have a lot of Israelites that are gonna be punished. So Jacob, you can't, the wicked of our people, you can get mad and try to tell on us and make up lies and shit. That's not gonna work because we're protected by all powerful angels, all right, that control these damn law enforcement agents and these federal agents. So you can try to use that tactic, it ain't gonna work, all right, because we're protected by the Father. It don't mean that we ain't gonna get bruised up, but it means that we're gonna be okay in the end. And you, the ones that traitors, treacherous, liars, that make up lies, you're gonna be found out, and the Lord's gonna destroy you. All right, your end is gonna be like Jezebel. That's gonna like her end, and you're gonna die the death of the uncircumcised. All right, you got a precept. Is that it?
Yeah,
That's it.
That's
That's
the
it.
last
I know
one.
that.
Yeah, this is Wisdom of Solomon 7:22, and it says, "For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me, for in her is understanding, spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtile, living, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good." Skipping down, just the main point was verse 25, and it says, "For she is the breath of the Most High, in the pure influence from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her."
Cool.
Yeah.
That was wisdom Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead, you can break it.
Yeah, so the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, he only have this wisdom. It's going to be dwelling with those, of course, that he deemed to be found without no guile. They're not defiled with other women. All right, that's not gonna, of course, bow down to the image, of course, of Baal. All right,
Yeah, that's the woman. That's idolatry.
Kind.
That's
Yep.
what a woman is.
Mhm.
Women in that respect.
Yep. Kind. It's like it. Yeah. Worshiping of other gods and such. All right. Yahweh Shem Shai, he, of course, called us to be a chaste bride. All right. Of course, for the bridegroom, Yahweh Shai. All right. So, those, of course, that are going to get in subjection to this word is going to be the elect. All right. That's going to willingly accept Yahweh Shem Shai. Once they hear it, and they're sealed already because it's all predestined. All right. And they're going to hear the men out there crying. All right. And hearken and follow and listen, obey. So, and it's really just the Lord, extending his hand towards us. So that's it. Socket.
Yeah. So Yahweh Shai is his power. He has the power to draw Israelites into the faith, and he has power to put Israelites out of the faith. So we are at our Creator's mercy. All right. So we'll end the lesson there. Hope what we said was edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.
Shalom.